Hi there, this is Steve Conlon with Mojo Life Coaches and the Clutter Free Academy. Today we're going to talk about the truth about compulsive shopping and why human beings acquire things. Okay, so this first video is going to be more about an overall view, like a bird's eye view of what's going on with it after us working with so many hundreds to thousands of people with these issues. We really have seen a pattern and some core issues which we're going to go over in this video, and then in subsequent videos I'm actually going to cover what specifically to do about it and how to eliminate it from your lifestyle. Okay, let's get moving. Alright, the three most common reasons people compulsively shop is what we find is the fear of not having enough. It's this compulsive feeling like I'm not okay, I don't have enough, I need to keep chasing, I need to have more. It's the fear of I'm not going to be okay. Subsequently, the second thing that we see is the need to be prepared. And what that means is a lot of people buy things for what if I'm going to need it a month from now, or maybe even 6 months from now, or how about it's a great gift for someone. Maybe Christmas is 4 months from now, I'm going to buy it now so I can be prepared. And part of perfectionism is being prepared. So what we see is that it's the what if thinking of the future that gets people into trouble, and they're not staying in the present moment. So that's number two. And number three is it's a distraction from life. Shopping and acquisitions and the act of acquiring is a distraction. It's a temporary high that you can get from life's worries, life's stressors, life's problems. And if you're feeling depressed, down, lonely, it's a distraction from a lot of things. So that's the third most common thing that we see. So where did this fear and perfectionism and this wanting to be prepared and feeling like we don't have enough and chasing this thing, the compulsive wanting more and more, where did this thinking actually come from? Well, number one, it's a learned behavior from the Depression era. It's actually a collective societal mindset that was passed down, back in the 1920s and 1930s, and it went from our parents' parents to our parents or whoever raised you, really. And number two, it's the commercialism, especially in the U.S. economy. I know it's over in the United Kingdom and other places. However, it's really rampant in the U.S. because our 70% of our GDP, of how we make money in this country, is by selling and buying things. So our unconscious is constantly bombarded through advertisements and through different ways that our society is forcing us to make us feel like we're not okay unless we buy, unless we get more, unless we acquire more. So the third false belief is that I need to buy more because I'm not okay the way I am. And that's just not true. And it's actually, the number four is the chasing the happiness through acquisitions. That's what we find. And it's very, very temporary, the happiness that you get. Literally minutes, if not hours. It's very fleeting. And the fifth one is kind of like what I've already touched upon. The advertisements is bombarding. Literally trillions of dollars is spent on bombarding our subconscious that you need more to be happy. And what it ends up actually doing, it creates a black hole and a void in our lives. So when we want to go shopping, because we think that's going to fill the void, the emptiness that we feel, and when we go shopping and it obviously doesn't satisfy that, because we go and shop again. And if it actually did that, if it satiated us long term, and if it actually worked, then we wouldn't need to keep buying or acquiring. But the compulsiveness is because it's a cycle, it's a loop that feeds upon itself in a negative way. Because when I go and I feel empty and I go try to buy, yes, it gives me a temporary high or a feeling of security or satisfaction, but then all of a sudden, hours or maybe a day later, I need to go shopping again. That compulsion, that habit comes back, and almost even hungrier and stronger because it didn't work. And so that's where we get that frustrating feeling, because then you throw in all the negative feelings. I feel guilty, I wasted my money, I'm buying things I don't even need, and then we just beat ourselves up. So that's really what's happening. So this is definitely a pattern, a habitual compulsive pattern that we need to break. So how to stop this thinking, okay? And you have to be prepared. You're going to be thinking against society. You have to know, if you're going to create the life that you love, it's going to be against what most other people are doing. And they're chasing their happiness, and they're very unsuccessful at it, just like what you're probably doing right now. And let me share with you this model of what we have been taught and what we have been shown, and it's an illusion, especially in America, and I'm sure in other countries, is we're taught and we're brought up to have a certain model of thinking. And what that is if I have this item, then I can do this, and then I can be and feel a certain way. So for example, if I have a nicer car, then I can do things with my car. I can then be happy or happier when I get that nicer car or that bigger house or that next iPhone or another doll if I collect dolls, or another whatever it is. It's another item, another inanimate object. And if I have that, then I can eventually be secure, I can be happy, I can be joyful, I can, be content, I can be significant because I got a good deal on a sale and I found this item. So there's a lot of things, but what ends up happening is you're always chasing. And it's very much like a little hat with a carrot dangling at the end of the hat. And every time you move towards that carrot, the carrot moves that distance away from you. So you're never ever getting closer to exactly what you want to feel, which is that happiness or that fulfillment or the contentment. And it's an illusion because every time you go shopping, you think this time it's going to do it. So really the model of success that we show our clients, and that I would love to show you, and in other videos we're going to go deeper into it, but it's the be, do, have model. See, if I can actually just be happy the way I am now, then everything that I do and buy and who I am, the way I am now, without anything external, without anything happening, without me having to acquire anything, I can be that emotion that I want to be. Then everything that I do from that subsequent core of being, if I'm going to play tennis, I'm going to be happy while I play tennis. If I go shopping, then I'll be happy while I'm going shopping. I'm not going to be happy because I'm shopping. I'm already going to be happy. If I go visit my mom or visit my family or friends, I'm already going to be that emotion. Then everything that I do comes from that emotion, and then everything that I'll have will be aligned with that. So that law of attraction kicks in and it says, well, if I'm going to be happy, I'm going to attract happy people. I'm going to have more circumstances that are going to bring me happiness. And that is really the key that most people walking this earth really don't understand. And we're taught to go chase the happiness and the fulfillment and the significance. But hear me loud and clear, after working with thousands of people with this issue, that is a dead end, and it's a loser's model. You will always feel like you're coming from behind. You will feel unhappy. And the reason you're listening to this is most likely because you're unhappy with the way the situation is. And then when you're acquiring these things and shopping, then a lot of clutter comes about. And then guilt and shame and embarrassment, and I can't believe I did that again. What? I told myself I wasn't going to do that. And then financially, it really hurts you. So number two is, so you want to really come from that be, do, have model, okay? And that's really what a lot of our Clutter-Free Academy is talking about and working on, is it's all coming from an inside game. It comes from the inside out. That's the success model. Number two is the abundance mindset, from within instead of receiving value from external items. So if you have an abundance mindset, which I didn't always have because my mom and dad taught me, there's not enough, you got to work hard. It's all of these things that we're taught. And I felt like I was always coming from behind. And I had to train myself that even after I've lost a lot of money and a lot of things in my life, I had to actually create an abundance from within. Abundance of, think about it, the roads that I didn't even have to lay that I get to ride on. The planes that I get to take and I didn't have to build these planes, the libraries that I can go to, and the amount of information that are there, and I don't even have to pay for it. The abundance of my health, of what I have. See, if I come from an abundance, then I don't need to go anywhere for abundance. I don't need to have external things to feel value, to feel okay, and to feel gratitude and abundant. Okay, so that's really what you want to do. You want to wake up in the morning, you want to go to bed at night, and you want to train your brain instead of coming from the scarcity mindset that you're always coming from, you're not okay, and you're coming from fear instead of trusting. Trusting that your daily bread will be taken care of. You're okay. You've survived so far. And the interesting thing is when you come from a scarcity mindset, it's survival mode as opposed to an abundant is the thrive. You get to actually thrive in life. So I invite you to take that on. Number three is men and women's identity, especially in America. Men's identity is rooted in I'm the provider. So I always have to buy things for my kids. I have to provide. I have to go get some extra groceries, make sure that we have enough. And then women are in our society is unfortunately they're given the message that I'm just not good enough. You always have to be a better mom, a better friend, a better daughter, a better teacher if you're a teacher, a better nurse if you're a nurse. You're just not good enough the way you are. Look at our advertisements for women. It's telling you on the magazine that you don't look like this and you're not good enough. You're not worthy. So we need to shift this thinking that is causing this emptiness, this void, and that's the only thing, and we can't satiate it through external things. So hear me loud and clear, it's got to come from within. And that is really what the Clutter-Free Academy is all about. Okay, so the true success formula here is that you are good enough already from within. Let me repeat that. You are already good enough from within. So stop chasing happiness and start accessing it from within. And that is really, again, what our academy is all about. And then I promise you, there's not one of our clients that when they did this, and it doesn't take very long, it literally just takes retraining the brain, typically no more than 30 days. When you can do that, then the void and the emptiness that you feel like you're filling, which you're not, that's why you have so much clutter. It doesn't work. That once you stop telling your subconscious that there's a void to fill, then that compulsion will literally go away overnight. It literally, you'll feel the desire just dissipate. It's amazing. It's truly amazing, but that's the key. And we've seen it time and again. So again, the compulsive shopping is more about the experience of shopping instead of the item itself. And that is so, so important. So hear me loud and clear. The shopping and the acquiring, the process or the act of what you're doing is what you are desiring. It's not the item itself. That's really big. And once you truly realize that, and it's the key is to substitute the feelings, because we all do things for feelings or an emotion, or we wouldn't do them. That's just human nature. It's our human condition. If we didn't get a benefit, we would stop doing the behavior. I promise. So the key is to substitute that for a behavior to get results that are going to make you feel good instead of sabotage you and make you feel bad and beat yourself up and I feel guilty and financial sabotage. So number 4 is shopping is a temporary high. It literally is like that. It's it's part of that distraction. If I'm feeling depressed, if I go hunt for that item or I get a great deal, or because you think you're getting pleasure from a sale. Ooh, it's a sale. I'm going to get a deal. Well, that's only temporary because the novelty totally wears off, doesn't it? Literally in a matter of minutes to hours. And then that's why you have to go shopping again, because that temporary illusion didn't really stay very long, and you have to go out and get that next hit, that next high. It's very much like an addiction. So the number 5 is the great deal syndrome. I got a great deal. Oh, I beat this person, or I got the sale. But the issue is you're always being sold by the retailer that you need this item. And you know, as well as I do, when you come home and all of the excitement has settled down, then all of a sudden you feel horrible. You feel miserable. If you had your choices, you would want to return everything that you just bought because you know you don't even need it. Oh, and I have 6 of the same thing in my clutter piles. I don't even need it. That's what happens. So how to stop compulsive shopping? This is what we found. It is very, very powerful. So literally do this. Do this right now as you're listening to this. Go get an index card. And it can be any size, hopefully enough that you can write these questions on it. But grab an index card and take it shopping with you and ask these 5 questions and your big why. Okay? So the first questions, you just want to really write this down verbatim. On the first part of the index card, just write, is this item worth buying compared to my big why and my happiness? Because you already know that it's stealing your happiness. And I'm going to explain the big why after this, but just write this down. Is this item worth buying compared to my big why and my happiness? Okay? Number 2, can I afford it? That's a simple question. Can I afford this item right now? And I don't mean to go into debt. Do I have money to pay for it? Number 3, do I absolutely need it? The days of you getting what you want are over. If you seriously want to put a plug in this financial drain called compulsive shopping and acquisitions and acquiring and this loop, this cycle, this negative cycle that you've been in, you have to only, just for 30 days or so, this is all I'm asking you to do. It's like a trial period. Ask yourself, do I absolutely need it? Can I not survive without it? And there's many, many things that the answer would be no. And number 4, do I have a home for it? And if you have a bunch of clutter at home and you have no place to put it, then you don't have a home for it. That's the plain truth. And it's time to stop avoiding and reflect or deflecting. It's time to look at reality and get your life back on track the way you desire and the way you intentionally want it. You can intentionally create it, and I'm giving you exactly what our other customers have done, other clients have done, and it is amazing how powerful this works. Number 5, ask or say to yourself the 1 in 3 out rule. What that means is if I buy this one item, what 3 items am I getting rid of at home? And if I can't immediately think of 3 things that I know, and you got to follow through, because this is all about you following through with yourself, is when I go home, I'm going to take these 3 items and they're out. They're out of my home that evening because I just brought this one item in. Now, this is all about you trusting yourself because you've probably fallen down and not followed through with a lot of things. And it's time to start getting self-esteem and self-confidence. And what that means is that you have to follow through with what you promise yourself and what you set your own goals and rules for. Okay? Got to stop breaking your own rules for what you want to create. Because your subconscious starts not trusting yourself. So, on the first part of the index card, you want to write those things, and you want to take the card and flip it around. And you want to write your big why on the back. Just put at the top, big why, my big why. And the big why is on the back of the card is ask yourself why I must create a clutter-free life for me and my family now. Why it's a must, not a should. And why I must stop compulsive shopping now. And not a should, it's a must, an absolute must. My finances are in danger. Whatever the reason is, I'm feeling horrible about myself. It's causing arguments in my family. It's splitting up my family. I'm going bankrupt. Whatever it is, why it's a must right now. Get serious about this. If you're going to really eliminate an addiction, you got to shift it to a must, not a should. Because if it's just a should, it would be nice. It's not going to happen. So write your big why on the back of the card, and then take this card with you while you're shopping, always, and take it out whenever you're thinking about buying or acquiring an item. Okay? And you might even want to think about having multiple copies if you need it. Have it because you never ever want to pass by and go, I need to go in and get some bread or from something from a grocery store, and you don't have this with you. Because even when you're grocery shopping, every single time you're going to acquire and bring something in your home, you need to retrain your brain and break out this card, this index card, and this is going to be able to wake you up from an unconscious pattern of just compulsively buying things that you don't need. And it's time to intentionally create the life that you desire, isn't it? And this works like a charm. So I highly recommend you do this. Have one, maybe make copies of it and have one in your car so that every time you're driving somewhere you have it. Have it up on your mirror in your bathroom so you're always reminding yourself. So anytime that desire comes, ooh, I'm feeling like I'm lacking something, I need to go buy. Take that card and start reading it because it's going to wake you up to reality. And that's what ends up getting caught. People get caught up in this tunnel vision and this excitement, and they forget about the reality of the situation and the realism that they're in. And you have too much already. That's why you have so much clutter. So, okay? So here's an example of a big why. For example, it's a must for me to free myself from the compulsive shopping so I can invest my valuable time and money with people truly experiencing the juice of life instead of just time with inanimate objects, which ultimately is safe but so unfulfilling. It's time to use my time better instead of searching, managing, and thinking about all my items, and use that time to create beautiful memories with people for long-lasting happiness. See, that's a powerful why. And if you read that and you look at this silly little item and you go, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth my valuable time. It's not worth the memories that I can create. And you move on. And the more you can just, in that moment of compulsion, in that moment of desire, you can just break your pattern, just break it. And then you do it again. Half hour later, the desire comes, just break it. Break it out again. Break the card and break the pattern, and it'll wake you up. Number two, for an example, it's a must that I choose to spend my hard-earned money on experiences with great memories that last, instead on just stuff that loses its novelty within a short period of time and leaves me still feeling empty long term. And it keeps you longing, doesn't it? So these are just some examples, but I want you to internalize this for yourself. What is your big why for your situation? And if you're in our platinum group, you can definitely, on our next call, or you need to contact us or put it in the forum, you can bring this up and we can kind of finalize it and sharpen it up for you. But you really want this to pierce you so it'll wake you up from that unconscious buying that you've been doing. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and in the next video I'm actually going to go into some more detailed and specifics of how to disclose the secret keys to eliminating compulsive shopping and acquisitions once and for all from your lifestyle. Okay? So that should be coming fairly soon, but definitely listen to this video again. There's a lot of information, and absolutely get that index card and have it with you at all times when you go shopping. And let me know how this works in the forum. Let me know, because we hear some great stories. We had this, one of our clients, Mela, she called and she says, Stephen Elaine, I'm in my mid-60s and I've been doing this for so long. I've tried everything. I don't think anything's going to help me. And when she got this kind of coaching, she actually is excited now to go to the store and see how she can come out with as little or as few of the items as possible. And she just doesn't have that desire, and she was so worried about willpowering it. I need to willpower this, and it's going to be so hard. And I said, you know what, Mela? There are way too many malls and shopping and on every single corner, especially in the United States. You can't just willpower it. You need to dismantle the desire itself. And in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So leave some comments for us in the forum and let me know how this works for you. All right, go get them, guys. Talk to you soon.